Hey, YouTube. Welcome to Fresh So CLE. I'm so happy that you are here. We're about to get things going in just a minute. I couldn't remember what episode I was on, but that's what happens when you're in a different time zone. Not what I wanted to do. I am in St. Louis, Missouri. So, yeah. All right. We have one person watching on YouTube. What do we have here? Let's see. Well, good evening, family and friends and loved ones and all of those great folks. It is 9 o'clock Central Time, which means that it's 10 o'clock Eastern Time, if I'm not mistaken, which means it's time for Friday Night Live with Fresh So CLE. I am your host. I'm Eris Is, and I'm so glad that you all have decided to join me tonight. I'm excited to talk about a few things. I've been keeping, it's been a really interesting and busy week for me. We had buy visibility on Monday. I went live from Q's Cafe on Wednesday, and now on Friday, here I am in St. Louis, Missouri. I'm here for work. I'll be working with some folks in East St. Louis tomorrow, and I had wonderful meetings and wonderful connections with folks in all of my meetings today. I even got to meet the mayor of East St. Louis, who is just newly inducted into that role. He just got in back in May, and so he just a real inspirational dude dropped like a whole word on me in like less than 90 seconds, and I'm still kind of ruminating with it. And so I'm excited to talk to y'all today. There's a couple things that I just wanted to really uplift and kind of really wanted to center our conversation around today. And this is a story that's been floating around a little bit, but we continue to see these stories over and over again. And this one was from September 26th. So that was just, what's today? The 27th. So it was just yesterday that I saw this story. So the title is Boy Pins Down Black Classmate, Cuts Her Dreadlocks at Virginia School, she says. And so three sixth grade boys at a Christian school in North Virginia pinned down a black classmate and cut off some of her dreadlocks while telling her her hair was nappy and ugly. This was a 12-year-old girl, you all. The three boys, who she said were white, cut her hair on Monday. She is a student in Springfield, Virginia, and where Vice President Mike Pence's wife teaches part time. That's interesting. Um, and so this story, definitely breaks my heart. It definitely infuriates me because we continue to hear again and again and again these stories about how Black girls are treated when it comes to their hair, which leads me into another story that's on a slightly different end of the spectrum. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, so the youngest Black women to own a beauty store in California, their beauty salon just went out. Their beauty supply store just went out of business, and this really speaks to the fact that there's a certain demographic of people who monopolize um, the care industry. And most of those products don't come from people who look like us, but we're the number one people who purchase those products. And so for this to happen, it's the manufacturers are the ones who are monopolizing the industry, and they say that manufacturers know Black people are the biggest consumers of hair and beauty products and are rejecting them from owning these businesses to prevent them from having any power in the industry. And so, it always makes me think about my homegirl Gwen, who is the owner and proprietor over Naturalicious, and the work that she's doing to make sure that Black women have autonomy in hair care products. And it's infuriating. And I know as Black women, and I know I'm talking specifically just about Black girl problems right now, we have always had this storied history with our hair. And it made me think about this piece I wrote for Harriet a while ago. Let me see if I can put the link in the comments for y'all. Um, and I wrote about what natural hair privilege is and what it could look like. And I'm just going to read a couple of pieces from it and then let y'all get your evening back because, like I said, it's 9 o'clock here. I'm in St. Louis, Missouri, because I'm working in East St. Louis, Illinois tomorrow. And I got an early start and a long day of training and working with survivors. And so I want to be able to get my rest. But I wanted to read y'all some of this and maybe end with something else as well. And so, um, it says, my hair has been the subject of scrutiny for as long as I can remember. In fourth grade, my classmate called me Grease. In sixth grade, songs were sang about my Jerry curl, don't slip on the drip, and the juice is loose. And by the time I was in 11th grade, I cut all of my hair off only to be mistaken for a boy and called a dyke. Not to mention the little boy who called my head a bag of flaming hot Cheetos in the barbershop. My freshman year at college, a professor picked up one of my locks and told me to take my braids down when I went on a job interview. And in my senior year at college, I flat ironed my hair, only to have another professor say, "You look better that way." And I cut all my hair off the next day. And this is just a mere fraction of the stories that I have, from the coworker who said I look like a porcupine, to the chef at Whole Foods who believed I was mean and angry because of my Black Power afro. In 2001, I received my very last relaxer. I still get recurring sores on my scalp from the chemicals to this day. When I ask why did I go natural, my typical response is one that laments. If white people can wear their hair the way it grows out of their head, why can't I? Or I respond with, how can a person go natural? I was born natural. Black hair care is a $1 billion industry that thrives on the notion that the hair of Black people in its natural state is not acceptable. In 2008, Lamia Kamen, a Milwaukee student, had one of her braids cut off by her teacher in front of her entire class because she was angry at the child for playing with her hair. The teacher only received a $175 fine, and Lamia was moved to another class while this educator maintained her job after openly abusing this student. In Lorain, Ohio, the Horizon Science Academy released their dress code, which included Afro puffs and small twisted braids with or without rubber bands are not permitted. Interesting enough, 2 bullet points earlier, the dress code stated that hair must look natural, clean, and well groomed. They later released a statement saying they will be updating their dress code, and by no means did they have any intention of creating bias towards any of their students. So instead of going into like paragraph after paragraph about colorism and colonialism and all of those things, I decided what I did was I created a list similar to what Peggy McIntosh created for the white privilege, unpacking the invisible knapsack. So I made a list of natural hair privilege, a natural hair privilege checklist. And so there's about 30 of these on the list. I'm only going to list a few of those just to take a moment for all of us to consider how our hair informs our identity. And these may or may not be true for you, but they also may be true for people that you've had interactions with, just in day to day. So here's a few. I can be pretty sure that my coworkers, supervisors, classmates, or educators will be comfortable with my hair. 2, if I pick up a magazine, watch TV, or play music, I can be certain my hair will be represented. 3, When I talk about my hair, such as in a joke or talking about my hair regimen, I will not be accused of pushing my hair texture onto others. 4. I do not have to fear that if my family or friends see my hair in its natural state, there will be economic, emotional, physical, or psychological consequences. 5. I did not grow up with games or jokes that attacked my hair, i.e., nicknames or songs made up about your hair. 6. I am not accused of being militant, warped, or psychologically confused because of my hair. 7. I can go from most meetings, classes, and conversations without feeling excluded, feared, attacked, isolated, outnumbered, unheard, held at a distance, or stereotyped or feared because of my hair. 8. I am never asked to speak for everyone who has hair like mine. 9. People don't ask why I choose to wear my hair natural. 10. My race or ethnicity is not challenged because of my hair texture, i.e., you must be mixed. 11. People don't ask if I'm limiting access to success because of my hair. 12. I do not have to fear revealing my hair to my friends or family. It's assumed. And let's see, is there any more on here that I want to kind of uplift? I have one that says my masculinity or femininity is not challenged because of my hair. Um, I am not asked if I wash my hair or if my hair is clean. I am not identified by my hair. Um, my hair and typical styles associated with it are not banned or deemed inappropriate because of my hair. Um, Yeah, so those are a few things. And so at the end of this piece, I said that I once wrote that our hair is a forbidden dance, moving, shaking, bending, waving, rhythmic. The manner in which our kinky tresses are coaxed into submission for an iota of acceptance is boggling. Society in its state of arrested development, but the next time you walk outside and gaze at the beauty of trees, take note of how the breeze makes the branches and leaves sway. A tree is God's afro. Kinky coils are not to be feared. Our hair is not a threat. Um, and so I'm gonna leave y'all with this poem that I wrote a long time ago, and it's for colored girls with natural hair. And so thank y'all so much for tuning in tonight. I know we didn't really get into many first world problems, but if you want to check those out, please feel free to check those out on my personal page, my Eris Is page on Facebook. You'll see my First World Fridays post every single Friday. And so thanks so much for tuning in to that and y'all commenting on that. And so I'll leave y'all with this poem and y'all have a beautiful night, all right? Our hair, our hair is a forbidden dance, moving, shaking, bending, waving, rhythmic. Extremes were pursued to get the afros, the updos, to hold the hot comb, the ninth wonder of the world, the eighth being my mother herself. We craved the French braid vous play complete with hundreds of beads, the percussion sound of little colored girls double dutching in the streets before quick weaves there were slow dreams parted with blue grease, our scalps stayed full of moisture. But somewhere post-pressing curled, our scalps dried out and flaked. Cholesterol conditioner is no longer safe, and now our hair mirrors the rest of our existence, broken, brittle, damaged. And our barrettes can barely hold on. We sing these songs for our mothers who grew weary of taming our thick follicles, searching for truth and no lot perms. Maybe those stern looks from peachy faced girls will be softened if our hair followed suit. But no matter our attempts, we were too far out of reach to touch. A poem for colored girls who've considered relaxers when their kinky hair was enough. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to So Fresh So CLE. I will see y'all on Monday. We'll be live with Queer Conda and so much more. So till then, love yourself, love someone else, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace. Thanks for tuning in, y'all.